and thank you for joining me this evening on Ask the Tax Lady. Ask the Tax Lady is a program that's being brought to you from Flavor TV Network. Flavor TV Network is going to be bringing you several different programs for your enjoyment. This program, Ask the Tax Lady, is where questions will be sent in throughout the week from our audience, and the tax lady and her panel will answer questions for that week. So let's do a quick introduction. My name is Samantha Person. I'm the owner and operator of RMS Financial Services, which mainly provides tax services, but we also provide notary services. We provide simple budgeting. We also provide you with wills and some business tax advice and also tax software. I've been in the industry for over 25 years. And within those 25 years, I've experienced several different situations when it comes to taxes. I've worked on taxes for deceased individuals, which are estate taxes. Yes, you still have to pay taxes on assets when you're deceased, where your beneficiaries have to take care of that. I've worked on amended returns. I've worked on different tax situations, had penalties removed, helped decrease tax liabilities. So there's a lot of things that I've worked on in the tax industry. Tax season ends April 15th, but for a tax strategist such as myself, taxes go on throughout the year. I actually finished a big tax return last week. And this customer, I had to set up different forms, had to write letters. So the tax business can be a all year round business, depending on what you want. What do you want out of the business? So as a tax preparer, I wear many hats. I work full time. Like I say, do taxes. I'm a mother, grandmother, wife, sister, daughter. So many different things that we do. But for me, my main hat that I really, really enjoy is working in the tax industry. Also do teaching for vocational rehab, where I work with special needs kids, teaching them different career skills. So there are a lot of different things that goes on inside here. But like I say, taxes is one of my main focus points. So we're going to get to your questions at the end. Right now, we're going to talk about the tax course. So I offer a tax course every year, 2 or 3 times a year. We have one coming up that is going to be free. Yes, you heard me, free. The only thing that you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. YouTube channel is called Ask the Tax Lady. So when you subscribe, you'll get notifications when I do new videos, and the videos are going to come every Tuesday. So every Tuesday, you'll get a notification, and then you'll subscribe, and you'll get a link to the course for that week. So again, this course is free, but you have to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, in this course, it's going to be a weekly course. And in this course, we're going to talk about how do you identify your clients in the filing status. Because as you know, if you've done taxes or if you've had your taxes done, that you could be single, married, filing jointly, married, filing separately, or head of household. Those are the main 4 categories. There are others, but the main 4 that people use are those 4. So if you're filing single, there's a different form. If you're filing married, filing jointly, There are different deductions and different credits that you can take. If you're filing married, filing separately, there are also different things that you can, different forms, different credits, different deductions. And then head of household, everyone knows that's when you're actually have dependents in your household, which is the average filing status, because that's what gets you the most money. So that breaks down in the course, I break down how do you file for each filing status. What type of income your client has. That's important to know because some clients have a 1099, some clients have a W-2. So a W-2 filer is different from a 1099. W-2 is basic, you know, they have one job. I've had clients that had like five W-2s or 10 W-2s, but those are, you know, those clients that do like gig work. So they have different W-2s from different employers. Then you have your 1099 workers. Some 1099 workers are employed by one individual or one company. Then some have several different 1099s that you will possibly have to do a Schedule C, which you'll learn all of that in the tax course. You also learn the different credits that your client can take. You have your earned income credit, you have the head of household, you have the educational credit. So each one of those is a different entity. So you'll learn that in the tax course. In credits, just to give a little tip, a little caveat, credits is money that your clients can get back. They don't have to do anything to get those credits. They don't have to work. They don't have to, you know, the more income you have, you know, for certain credits, the more refund you get. However, for certain credits, you don't need income because it's a credit. It's given to you. You will also learn about the deductions. Deductions are extensive in itself because you can get a deduction for your home, you can get a deduction for your things that you give to Goodwill, whether it's a vehicle, clothes, shoes, household items, electronics, computers. So my course teaches you how to assist your clients in getting certain deductions because they don't know. I've had clients that did not realize that, you know, they just go give stuff to Goodwill or to another nonprofit and don't get a receipt because they didn't think it was worth writing off. Just because you're a high income earner does not mean that you cannot benefit from deductions. And that's all in the itemization form, which is another tax form that I teach you about in this course. Also, you're going to learn about obtaining your P10. So with let me go back to deductions. Deductions for your clients basically decreases their tax liability. Credits for your client increases their tax refund. So all these little things you will learn on a weekly basis so it could prepare you to be the best tax preparer for your clients. You're going to learn how to obtain your P10. A P10 is what you need to get paid to prepare someone's taxes. If you are preparing taxes without a P10, you're in violation of IRS. So the federal law. So you need a P10 and it's I think it's like less than $30 to get a P10 and it has to be renewed every year. So in my tax course, I will go step by step teaching you how to obtain your P10 in order for you to prepare taxes for this tax season. We also learn about banking products. There are different banks that you could connect with to provide banking products. And banking products is basically how you would get your money out of someone's tax return. If they couldn't pay you up front, which I recommend, but if they can't and you're willing to get your money out of their return, their refund, then you would need banking products. So I partner with several different ones over the course of my tax season or my tax years. So I'll be able to help you figure out which one is best. And one of the other things that I will go over in the course is what's required. You need certain equipment as well as software to actually start doing taxes. So in my course, I go over everything that you need to be prepared to hit the ground running to be able to do taxes. And not only to do taxes, but to do taxes accurately, quickly, and with the best interest for your clients as well as your organization. Now, some of the things that are required, and it's not a lot, to be a good tax preparer, dedication. You have to be dedicated to your craft. You can't just be a fly-by-night tax preparer and expect to get the best results for your client. So you have to be dedicated. I'm always researching. I'm always studying. I'm always learning. I'm always going to networking events. Always going to, IRS summits or local summits. So it's always good to keep up on your industry, to stay involved, to stay engaged with your industry. So dedication is one, and a lot of stuff is free. Like this, YouTube University. All you have to do is click subscribe, and you get free information on how to become a tax preparer. Honesty. You have to have honesty as a tax preparer. Your clients are relying on you and your knowledge so that they don't get in trouble with the IRS. So you have to have that honesty and loyalty to your clients to make sure that you're providing the best service that you can using your knowledge. A positive attitude, because every day is not going to be sunshine and roses. I can promise you that every day is not going to be your best day. So you, as a tax preparer, have to maintain your own positive attitude internally so that you could display that for your clients. All clients are not good clients. Some clients are going to be difficult. Some situations are going to be very challenging. So you have to maintain that positive attitude for yourself. You have to be an avid learner, which is what I was talking about earlier. You have to be willing to learn because tax laws change every year. Tax laws change when presidents change, tax laws change. Some give you more, some give you less. So you have to be an avid learner where you're keeping up on your industry. You're keeping up what's going on in the tax industry for your client as well as for you. And you have to be a risk taker. Any business, any industry that you go in, you have to be a risk taker. Whether you gonna say the most simplest to wash cars, you're gonna have to take a risk because you're gonna have to go out there and make sure you're doing what you're doing the right way, maintaining someone's car, going to market yourself. So those are all risks. So in the tax industry, it's a risk. You're gonna buy the software, you're gonna buy your computer, you're gonna buy printer, all that stuff with intention of making money. But the first year you might not. The first year I started, I was 16 when I started doing taxes. And I literally was just doing them for free, $20. That was a long time ago. I was staying at home with my mom, so it didn't matter. My friend showed me how 1 year, and then the next year I did my own. Then I was doing my family, and then we spread it to my friends. Until today, I have my own tax industry, which I've had for probably about 20 years. I've been doing paid tax returns where I was doing taxes when you didn't need a PT. So now you need a PT. And then I graduated to having an E, which I can teach you that's later on down the line. An EFIN is basically when you standing in for the IRS, electronic filing identification number, where I can actually submit a return instead of you having to go to, like H&R or someplace like that. I can do the whole process, completing the return, validating the return, and submitting the return. And then waiting on, acknowledgments from the IRS. So that's the dedication that I've had over the last 25 years, dedication to my craft. We'll go to IRS summits every year, of course, because I'm a tax lady. I will go to those summits and then end up writing them off. That's the deductions. I'm working, so I'll go. One year they had a summit in Las Vegas. I don't live in Las Vegas, and the other summits was not conducive to my work. So me and my husband went to Las Vegas for IRS summit, decreased hotel costs because it was such a large group. We had different special rates. Airfare was brought off, hotels was brought off, food was brought off, entertainment was brought off. So these are the perks that you get from being in the tax industry or any industry really, but tax industry, because the IRS, they make sure that they have summits in good locations so that people can come. So that's a part of taking that risk and that being an avid learner. So those are some main things that you would need to be a good tax preparer. As far as the equipment, you would need a computer. Now, you could take people's documents on your phone, over the phone. You would need software. That's the number one, that's a must, software. So you need some type of device, a laptop, a desktop computer, your software, use your software, a printer. They have mobile printers, but some people still like paper. Most of the time, right at this moment, I do electronic copies. So once I finish someone's return or doing the process, I send it to them, let them check it, sign it, send it back, and then I can e-file. If they have any questions, we can talk about it, and you can set it up. A lot of tax plans I have now are remote. When I first started, everyone was physical. They wanted to come in the office and sit down and talk to you. Now, I would say 90% of my clients are remote. They live I have clients in Chicago, throughout Florida, Minnesota, Georgia, Virginia. I actually have clients that are abroad, I have one in Japan. So as you grow in the tax industry and your work speaks for yourself, you get referrals, and it just continues to grow. But you have to start out being honest, dedicated, and being an avid learner with a positive attitude. Marketing is another major thing that you would need, and it's not expensive. You can market Facebook, social media. A lot of it is free, but if you want to grow fast, then you have some of it that you can pay for. You could use Fiverr. There's a lot of people on Fiverr that does things for $5, just because they're starting out. So they're trying to build up their clientele. So that's something that you can use. So that's enough for the tax course. All I can say is subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get the information and you'll be on your way to becoming a quality tax preparer. So without any further ado, we're going to go into our questions and answer session, because this is Ask the Tax Lady. So every week, like I said, send your questions in and I will answer those questions to the best of my knowledge with research. If I need to research or answer, if it's something that's detailed and personal, I might just send you a detailed link or a detailed answer, and then we could talk about it, and more one-on-one. So these are some of the questions that I got for the week. First one, when is the last day to complete returns for extension? So for those people that put in for an extension on before April 15th, the last day to turn in your completed tax return is October 15th. So consider this your 2-week notice. 2 weeks from today, you need to submit your tax return, completed tax return by October 15th. And if you need help or if you done, if you have an extension, you can contact us. And the phone number is area code 407-802-2307. 407-802-2307. And someone from our office will be able to assist you in completing that return that you requested an extension for. Because remember, an extension is just that. An extension giving you 6 months to complete your return. Maybe you had to wait on a W-2 or 1099 or get all your deductions lined up so that you can itemize, or whatever the case was, you have until October 15th to get it in. So contact us if you need assistance with filing that return. Second question, how many dependents can an individual claim? That's a good question, because on the tax form itself, you only see normally like 3 boxes, 4 boxes. However, an individual can claim as many dependents as they take care of. A dependent is someone that you take care of, whether it's your mom, your dad, your sister, your uncle, aunt, cousin, friend. So a dependent is someone that you are providing financial support. However, if you are claiming anyone under 16, whether it's your grandchild, your child, your grandchild, your adopted, kids, you could really 3 is the magic number for that. After 3, your deductions decrease, or your credits decrease, I should say. So, for example, last year, they gave the earned income credit for one child, depending on your income level now, you receive like $5,500 approximately credit. So that's money that you get back on your income tax. If it was 2 children, it was like $6,500, 3 children, $7,500. So after 3, you may get extra $500 or $200 to $500, but the credit decreases. So that is, I have clients that have like 6 kids between them. So one client claims 3 for earned income credit, and then the father or mother, whatever, they claim 3. And that's a tax strategy, because in the beginning, when they were together, they don't know. So they just like, well, let this one claim all the kids. As a tax strategist, I advise them to, when they separated, you claim 3, you claim 3, because they're no longer, together. So that's something that you have to know, and that comes with learning and the knowledge. Next question, how much does an average tax return cost? So an average tax return costs, let's just say for a head of household person. A head of household person, which is claiming earned income credit. So let's just say we have one, that's claiming 3 kids. So you got 7,500, that's credit. Then whatever you paid throughout the year from your job, let's say that's another 2,000. So that's 9,500. Then say maybe you have an educational credit. That's another 1,000. So you're looking at 10,500. So head of household, because you have to do so much work, each one of those numbers that I've given you, it calls for a different form. You have the earned income credit form, you have the educational form. So a tax preparer may charge between $500 and $1,000 for a head of household return. So just, keep that in mind. And each tax preparer is different. Like I said, when I first started out, I was trying to build clients. I was charging people $20, $25. But I was 16, staying home with my parents, didn't really know nothing, just learning. Now, fast forward to today, I charge, the minimum I charge is between, if it's a student or senior, so you set your rate. So if it's a student or senior, I may charge them, $250, $300. Then you have single people, head of household, corporations. So it just depends on what you want to do or what you need as a client. Then that's something you will discuss with your tax preparer. When does tax season start? So tax season starts normally in January. For this tax season, 2025, according to the IRS, they will start January the 29th of 2025. And what that means is you could get your W-2s the end of December. Your tax preparer could actually do your taxes maybe the first week of January. And your taxes, your forms will be waiting in the queue until the IRS open up January 29th, and then you'll be one of the first sets to be processed. Now, they changed some years ago that even though they're starting January 29th, single filers, seniors, people that don't get earned income credit will get their return probably within 2 weeks after January 29th. However, those that have earned income credit, they push them to like the end of February. So even though they open up January 29th, if you're doing earned income credit, that's when you have children that you're claiming, that would probably be the end of February. Now, another question which goes into our next question, when can we start getting loans? Everybody wants to know, when can I get my money? When can I get some money? So the first week of January is when the loan season opens up, because you still have to have your W-2 or your 1099. So you still need documentation that you were working, that you have income before you could put in for the banking products that I was talking about, because the banking products is the one that the bank actually is the one that approves you for a loan up front. So you can get a loan as long as you have your W-2s or your 1099. You can get a loan as early as the first week, second week of January, because you got January 1st. So I would say the second week of January, if you have all your documentation lined up. Even if you're earned income or head of household filer, you still can get a loan by the second week of January, which is better than waiting to the end of February. So you can do that. Just make sure that you have your W-2 or 1099, your personal information, your social security card for you, your dependents, your banking information. Pretty much that's all you would need to apply for a loan. Some loans, when you apply, it's not a hard pull on your credit, but they do check your credit to see the amount that you can get. Sometimes you don't qualify. Sometimes you get 5, sometimes 1,000. The most I've gotten someone is like $6,000. But that was a head of household filer. Taxes were taken out for a year. Plus they had, the earned income credit, they had the educational credit. So they had a lot of credits that were, um, that they qualified. So they were able to get a larger loan amount, and their credit was, pretty decent. So those are the questions that we got for this week. Every week, I will answer 5 questions. So hopefully you get your question in early enough, and your question will be one of those questions that we answer on a weekly basis. I want to leave you guys with a quote from one of my mentors, Dr. Keita Joy. And she always says this, and it resonates with me. I actually say it throughout the day. It helps me to keep going as a taxpayer, as a worker, as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter. It keeps me grounded with wearing all of those hats. So her slogan is, do you, do it well, and do it consistently. And the end result will be success. If you take time and do you, don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Do you, and you do it well, do it to the best of your ability. If you're doing your research and you're learning, if you're attending networking events, and you're surrounding yourself with positive people, like-minded people that are in the same industry that you're in, that you can learn from, and you do it consistently. I'm talking about consistently. I'm like every day when I wake up, I'm planning. Actually, I start the day before. Well, let me go back. I start months before. I'm always planning what's my next move, what's my next step. Consistently planning what am I going to be doing when I wake up. I have a list. Okay, I need this. If I don't complete that list, then it goes on to the next day. It goes to the top of that list for the next day. And that's something that you have to do. You have to do you, and you have to do it well, and you have to do it consistent. Because guess what? It's only one you, and you have to take care of yourself. Thank you for joining us for Ask the Tax Lady. I'm Samantha Person, and I look forward to next week answering your question. Remember, subscribe so that you like, so that you can get your free information for our upcoming tax course. Thank you for joining.